it's good to know, but no surprise, that the Prime Minister thinks that $54 million is just a petty matter. According to one programmer, demonstrated that the Arrive Can app could have been designed in a single weekend for less than $250,000. Instead, this Prime Minister paid $54 million. 10,000 people were sent by that app wrongly into quarantine when they shouldn't have been. And many of the contracts went to companies that have home addresses as their headquarters. Will the Prime Minister supply Canadians with the full list of all of the contractors who got the money?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Well know, since day one of the pandemic, we were focused on providing them the support and the safety necessary in this unprecedented time, despite the political games the Conservatives chose to play throughout the pandemic. Obviously, the amount cited includes far more than just the initial development of the app. It includes services like cloud storage, IT call center services, upgrades, and future costs. On this side of the aisle, we will continue to put the safety and security of Canadians at the center of everything we do in unprecedented pandemics or in regular times, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, creating a $54 million app well over budget that could have been created in a weekend for under $250,000 does not protect anybody's safety, nor does an app that sends 10,000 people wrongly into quarantine. But the strangest thing is that there are these roughly dozen companies that got the contracts to supply this app. The Prime Minister does not want to give all of the names of the subcontractors that got that money. I challenge him now. Will he commit to supply this House with the list of all the subcontractors who got the money, who got rich?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians well remembered that when this unprecedented pandemic hit us as a country, we pulled together. We had a government that stepped up to work with other orders of government to deliver all the protections we possibly could for Canadians in an unprecedented time. We were there to have Canadians' backs. While Conservatives were peddling vaccine misinformation and refusing to follow public health directives, we stepped up and made sure that Canadians had all the tools to deliver safety for them. That's what we will continue to do, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
They stepped up to put money in the pockets of their friends. We don't forget the We Charity, Mr. Speaker. But now someone got rich here. Someone designed an app that didn't work, that sent 10,000 people wrongly into quarantine, that had addresses, home addresses, as the headquarters of the companies that received the money. Many of the subcontractors are still secret, and if the Prime Minister will not tell us the identity of those companies, then maybe he can tell us who was the genius. Would the genius who spent that $54 million on an app that could be designed in a weekend please stand up now?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, our focus throughout this pandemic was being there to support Canadians. And before the member of the opposition criticizes me again for that, we spent billions, tens of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars to support Canadians through this pandemic, with direct income supports, with supports for small businesses. And we did that because we knew that being there for Canadians through an unprecedented, difficult time would ensure that our economy would come back faster after it. That's exactly what happened, Mr. Speaker. We were there for Canadians, while Conservatives can criticize us every step of the way.
The Honourable